What if the biggest shift in midlife we need is not another productivity hack, but permission to slow down? I don't know about you, but I spent most of my life rushing, taking kids to school, getting to work, walking too fast, talking fast, thinking fast, and then wondering why I felt so frazzled all the time. So today I want to share about how slow living, or at least slower living, how it's quietly transformed the way that I think, the way that I work, the way that I rest, the way that I enjoy my life now. So this isn't about moving to a hillside cabin in the woods, or baking your own sourdough, or knitting your own spaghetti, although that's fine if you want to, apart from the last one. It's about reclaiming space. It's about intention, about reclaiming pleasure and enjoyment in life, especially in the second half of life. I'm hoping that at the end of this short video, you can walk away with a few simple shifts that can transform the way you feel about your life. So why does slow living matter so much after 50? Well, I think we want connection and rest as part of our lives now. All the changes that we go through during midlife, the hormonal upheavals, caring for elderly parents perhaps, caring for teenagers. Oh my gosh. And if you've got the two, you're sandwiched in the middle. They all collide, and suddenly the pace we used to keep up just isn't sustainable anymore. It's not good for us. Our culture tells us that we have to keep up. We have to keep going, keep pushing. But our bodies, and I would say our hearts, start to tell us something else. So by slow living, we achieve something so much more important than the rush, rush, rush. It's about gaining more clarity. It's about soothing the nervous system and having better nervous system regulation. It's about not constantly going into fight or flight, but feeling calmer as part of your everyday. And as a result, we would have more clarity, better relationships, more creativity, and a deeper sense of perspective and purpose in our lives. That sounds good, right? Because here's the surprising bit: slowing down often makes us more effective, not less. Many of us have a wake-up call at some point during our midlife years. For me, it was just a perfect storm of hormones, empty nest, financial problems, just generally feeling that life was getting on top of me, those little things chipping away. And I realised that I couldn't go on the way I was. Can you relate to this? I'd love to know in the comments. Please do share, because anything that you write might be something that someone needs to read right now to give them hope and let them know that they're going to get through. Slowing down felt really uncomfortable at first. I felt as if I was being lazy, as if I was failing. But gradually my thinking shifted, and I realised that slow living wasn't laziness. It was actually wise. It was actually the beginning of tapping into that wisdom that we all start to feel coming up as we go through our midlife years. So what does slow living actually mean? I mean, we've heard a lot about it, haven't we? And it sounds like, an Instagram trend or something like that. It's not a trend, it's a mindset. It's a way of living. It's about choosing to be intentional rather than automatic. So being able to stop and to respond rather than to react immediately, kicking our nervous system into that stress point. It's about choosing depth of existence rather than speed of existence. It's about choosing presence over performance. This is partly where that feeling that we all get that actually we don't care what other people think of us anymore. It's about letting go of urgency that doesn't really belong to us, that belongs to the society around us, that we're just conforming to. It's about not running at full capacity, leaving ourselves a little bit of fuel in the tank, a bit like not running your petrol, your fuel in your car down to the red, but filling it up before it gets there. I'm still not very good at that. It's about becoming more observant of your own needs and honouring them. Radical, isn't it? So what are some examples? How can we put this into practice? Well, we can take a breath before reacting to something, and then we're able to respond more rationally. and more in a way that serves us rather than instantly saying yes to something, for example. Leaving space in your diary, actual space. I've read advice before about putting appointments with yourself in your diary, and if that works for you, that's fine. But I think that we need to get to a stage where we naturally don't fill our diaries to chock-a-block. It's time now to forget multitasking. Do one thing at a time. Focus. Give yourself time to recover from social events. You could try cooking something slowly from scratch, maybe just at the weekend, but enjoying the process of cooking. This is a new one for me. I was always rush with cooking. It always felt like a chore. But occasionally now, I do take over the cooking and I do enjoy it. I enjoy following a recipe. Who knew? If you knew me years ago, you'd wonder who this person is. You know, when you go for a walk, try walking without headphones. Actually take in your surroundings and the sounds and the sights and the smells, rather than listening to the latest podcast or multitasking, basically. Give yourself space, give yourself time, and create small daily rituals that signal to you and to your nervous system that you matter. So what are the benefits? Benefits of slow living are myriad in midlife and beyond. Our nervous system starts to soften, so our ability to recover from stress gets better. Stress recovery improves when we stop rushing, and it can help with menopause symptoms as well. They can quieten quite a lot when we just take our time and we slow down. Another benefit is that it enables us to make better decisions because we're taking our time over them. Slowing down clears mental fog and gives us perspective. It sharpens our thinking. It can increase our confidence. When we stop comparing ourselves to people half our age or people who are ahead of us in whatever endeavour we're undertaking at the moment, everything feels better and feels more doable. And we can reconnect with ourselves, with other people, because creativity can flourish when we're not rushing. Small pleasures like your morning cup of tea, a lovely warm bath, you start to feel them more again and appreciate them more because you're not rushing through them. They're actually what you're supposed to be doing, not something that you're fitting in between all the important things. They are the important things. And when we slow down, our relationships deepen because we laugh more, we listen more, we're more present. And that's a wonderful thing. So I want to give you some practical examples that you can put into practice straight away. Things like not starting your day on your phone. I don't know about you, but I have my phone by my bed, probably because I still have that thing of maybe somebody will call me in the night. I mean, it's no use because I've actually got it on sleep mode, so I wouldn't hear anyway. It's habit, isn't it? But by having it by my bed, I'm more inclined to pick it up and start scrolling the minute I wake up or checking the news. The worst thing you can do at the beginning of a day is to set you up for the day, isn't it? So try starting your morning without your phone. Leave it downstairs. Take the time with your ritual of making your morning coffee or making a cup of tea. Really enjoy it. Really be present in that moment. Stop multitasking. Try unitasking. Do one thing with focus and intention at a time and see how it makes you feel. And as you move through your day, create micro pauses. Moments between tasks where you get up and you move around, or you go outside and feel the sun on your face. You notice what's happening in the garden, outside your own front door. You could have a slow morning where nothing is planned. You just go with the flow of what you feel on that morning. You could have a screen-free evening. If you spend your evenings watching TV, as my husband and I tend to do, have one evening a week intentionally where you don't watch the TV, where maybe you read a book, or you could talk to each other. Well, that might be a bit too radical. One of my favourite things to do is to wander. Just go for a walk with no intention or purpose, not thinking which way am I going to go, just wander where the mood takes you. You're not putting yourself under any pressure. Perhaps it would help you to declutter one small area. You know that drawer we all have in our kitchen where we just shove things and shut the drawer? Don't think it's just me, is it? Maybe declutter that one drawer. Sort out your sock drawer. Roll your socks up and make it look all pretty, Marie Kondo style. I think she was talking about arranging your underwear, your knickers as we call them in the UK, to fold them so that they look like sweeties. I've never forgotten that line. I find that slow living and simplicity go hand in hand. So if you want to simplify your life, that's going to help with your slow living mission. Learn to say, let me think about that, rather than rushing in and agreeing to something that might not actually fit in with your slow living plan. It's time now to protect your energy as fiercely as you ever protected your to-do list. I think that the real obstacle to slow living is internal. I think that internal guilt about resting, for example, because we were brought up to believe that rest has to be earned. Midlife can sometimes bring that feeling of I should be doing more, or even I'm falling behind. The truth is that slow living, slowing down, becoming more intentional, more mindful in your day-to-day is actually powerful. It's not laziness, it's bringing you clarity and peace. And who doesn't want more of that? You are allowed, to take up space, to take up time, to take your time and choose what matters most to you right now in your life. What happens when we slow down? When we get this right, we rediscover ourselves. We rediscover the self that's been buried under decades of rushing about and doing things for others. We start noticing beautiful things that we didn't notice before. Life feels fuller somehow and richer, steadier, even if nothing changes externally. Slow living gently pulls us back into our own lives. What's one tiny thing that you could slow down today? Thank you for spending these slow moments with me. And if this resonates with you, please like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. It helps more women to find our community. Pop over to Substack. I'll put the link in the comments, where I write about these things as well. Until next time.